I like it. I like it. But man, shoot, man. So you did bring up, the good times, stuff like that. And obviously, we knew as players, man, during this time of year, it could get kind of crazy, man, whether we traveling, whether we grinding, or doing whatever we doing. But the one thing I always wanted to talk about, man, was just with, whenever me and you get in here, we always have one particularly serious topic, right? Or something that, we get to kind of tap into a little bit.
Right.
And I felt like it would be appropriate to just kind of go with this theme that we've been doing, right? We talked about when we knew we were going to transition. We talked about the toughest part of transitioning. So I figured, man, going back to when we were playing, just if we had any regrets, anything that when we thought back on our careers, right?
Yeah.
You got 7 and I got my 9 in, right?
Yeah.
But was there a moment where you're just like, man, I wish I could have done this differently, or I wish I would have just been more focused in this dynamic, or whatever it may have been? You know what I mean?
I think as a player, you always have a little bit of, I know they say no regrets and live with no regrets. And you want to live with everything. And it's kind of like hindsight's always 20/20.
Facts.
But I think as a player, I think if you don't blow your candles out, like if you don't, if you're not.
Talk about the blowing the candles out though, bro.
So it's
like
a
difference.
Yeah, it's different if you don't blow your candles out, rather than per se like they tell you they're done with you or you can't get back on the team and different stuff like that. I think if you blow your candles out, I think you always leave no regret, or you always just leave a little bit of like.
Just feel better about it.
Yeah. It's kind of like, well, I was done with it. I think the competitor in all the athletes, you always got a little bit of something like, I wish I would have did this harder, or I wish I went harder. In coaching now, it's kind of like, I kind of just try to pour into my dudes kind of you don't want to have regret.
Yeah.
So it's like, go hard, go as hard as you possibly can. You know what I mean? Like train hard, really drink your waters.
Yeah.
Like obviously I wish I would have stretched more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I could dig that.
I wish, some days I would have worked out a little bit harder. It's kind of like, I remember coaches being like, man, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
That is the truth.
So.
It's crazy how that worked though, bro. Like, when we in their moments, man, no coaches do say stuff like that. You like, bro, you sleep, man. Leave me alone. I don't know what you talking about right now.
Think about them practices we had. We was like, man, I really don't feel like being out here.
Facts.
I really don't feel like,
and
like,
like
don't
you gotta
nobody
get better
talk
today,
to
bro.
Yeah, don't nobody talk to you. Like, you really in that mode. And it's like, in hindsight, like, you'd love to be out there.
Facts.
You've been out there all day.
But think about it though, when we would talk to some of the vets, and what would they say? Like, hey man, don't complain about this, because it's gonna be a time you gonna wish you could be out here and you can't.
Right.
They're not gonna open their door for you. You're not gonna get them opportunities, man.
Right. I always remember like kind of dudes like a Rosie type dudes who had got cut early and kind of came back, and you could see
change that perspective,
yeah,
bro.
You could change the perspective. You can see the hunger. You can see more of, even off the field, just how I deal with my money and different things like that. I know me and you talk about a lot of stuff off the field. I think my biggest regret in terms of football isn't so much on the field. It's more just off the field. I wish I did more things in terms of like buying a house. I always try to tell like my young boys, especially the rookies, like it's not a perfect time to like buy the house and do these things. Like, go ahead and buy the house.
But we always say that though, because it's funny, man. Me and you have talked about it, especially now. We always look back and we're like, bro, if we would have known about rental properties, we would have known about just purchasing, investment, stuff like that, we would operate way differently during that time frame.
Definitely.
But I think it's one of them things, man, when you're young like that, because man, I know how I was getting it. I know what I was doing, bro. I'm just like, yo, I feel like at that time frame, man, we're just young. We're like grown, we're understanding, and we're learning, we're maturing. But we're doing it at an expedited pace. Stuff that people have to interact with and deal with in their 40s and 50s when they have their money, when they have what is deemed the height of their success, we're dealing with as 21, 22, 23-year-olds with nobody to really look around and ask, because the people that are going with it or that have experienced it with us, we look at them as competition as well. I can't just come in here as a rookie and I'm talking to my vet and I'm like, hey vet, how do I be an NFL player and have success? Man, that vet looking at me like, bro, you trying to take my job, you trying to take food off my plate. Like, nah, I ain't got time for this. And that's, you know what I mean? So it's real. So it's like, where do you get that information? Where do you learn? And for us, it typically happens after we get out. Because once we get out, now everything slows down and we're like, oh, crash course, you back to reality now. Now here you go try to learn something. Oh, and that money you had, man, you better make it last for the next 50 years too.
Or you've bought enough time to where you've
Yeah.
messed up and you kind of like bounce back like, all right, I get it. Let me try.
That was my case, bro. I definitely was on it. Yo, you tripped out, and then it was like, okay, we're getting back. Pittsburgh, they love you. Oh, all right, we're good now. Okay, we survived. But it got real. It gets real, man. When I think of, just regrets, I do agree, man. When you do get the chance to kind of like blow your candles out, you do feel good in the sense of like, I don't feel like I left a ton out there.
Right.
But there are things that I'm like, I don't want to say I would change it, but it begs the question for me. Prime example was this. I was big on family in the off season, right? I was like, man, I sacrifice everything during the season. Y'all know, man. The only time I got for y'all is once I'm done studying film, once I'm doing my massages. Like, other than that, it's football. So in the off season, I wasn't leaving the train.
Okay.
I stayed local. Whether it was in Buffalo, staying with my trainers up there, staying in Pittsburgh, working with the local trainers. Ultimately ended up getting with a little local gym. You know what I mean? Had a guy that I was working with. Okay. But everybody knows if you was in Pittsburgh and you play linebacker, where you going all season? You play linebacker in Pittsburgh, bro. Okay. Where you going? It's no debate, right?
You're not in Arizona. You're doing something wrong.
Hey. Where's Danny Ball? Have you seen Danny Ball?
You better be playing Danny Ball.
Okay.
You better be in Arizona.
You catch what I'm saying?
Going to Lisa getting the needles.
Come on, bro.
I already know.
So for me, bro, I don't have a regret, but there are multiple times, and I've talked with wifey after the fact too, and I kind of let it. I'm like, yo, I don't never regret it in the sense of like negatively, but I always think back and I'm like, if I wasn't married with the kids, I'm out there, and that's the part where I'm like, does the bag? Because that's what you got to ask yourself. Would the bag have been crazier?
The bag could have got
would my production been crazier? You know what I mean? Like I think of like all of these things, and it's like,
I think the Steelers really taught me perception is reality.
Facts.
Like perception.
That's what they
no
say,
matter
bro.
what nobody say,
even though they say it's not supposed to be,
perception is reality.
Yeah.
And if the whole team is out there,
it's a bad look, bro. It's such a bad look, bro.
I used to be one of the crew members. I wasn't out there,
bro.
I go to Cali, but the whole defense, like all the starters, will be in Arizona. It was like it was a movement. So.
This was my whole saving grace, bro. Not only was I working out with my main guy, I was showing my face in that building. I had to show my face. Here. So I'm like, yo, Gee, Sal. I'm seeing Coach T with that sweatsuit on that day going elliptical in the mornings. I'm like, all right, that works, man. All right, I got my FaceTime in here. Y'all catch me. I'm in the building. All right, I'm not slacking. I just got to go home, wife and kids, man. Y'all know what time I'm on, man. Yeah, but it's real. Like, when you talk about perception, you talk about being seen, you got to be seen. Like, you got to play the game. But that was one of the things for me where I'm like, I always just like, dang, man, if I would have spent more. Because you hear the stories, man. Debo, man, he was one of the big dudes in the NFL in terms of spending money to take care of his body, to advance his training, to ultimately prolong his career. And you look at how long he played, dang, you're doubled mine. You know what I mean? You think about the NBA side. Everybody talks about LeBron and his longevity, right? But it's also, man, you look at his training, how much time he spends on it, how much money he spends on it. I'm like, man, I feel that's the part where I'm like, did I leave that out there? But that's a decision I had to make. And ultimately, that's why I say I live with it. Yeah. But it's still real, though, you know?
I think that come with it a little bit in the sense of like I think big paid guys, you do big paid type things.
Fair enough.
Know? But I think, like, not to say, you know.
I think context matters, though, but I'm with you, though, yeah.
And I think you still invest in your body. Like, it's still like you might have been, like you said, in Pittsburgh, but you're still going to the trainers. Oh, yeah, you're still getting massages. Yeah. You're still, so it's like,
still spin on it. I'm just saying, I felt like, this is what I'm saying, right? So if we all have identified in Pittsburgh that, hey, if you play linebacker here and the best guy works out with this group right here, and we've deemed them as the best group.
The starters.
This is where all the guys go.
Yeah, the starters are out
and
there.
even when they weren't guys, they went there, and when they came back, they became guys, right?
Cam's out there.
We talked about that.
Vince is out there.
Shazier's
out there.
Okay.
Spence is out there.
Even if they weren't guys, when they came back, they were guys.
Right, I'm with you.
So for you, if you're not going there, what is your excuse?
Where are you?
So for me, I would literally be like, bro, when camp hits, I got to be like a freaking Spartan out here, bro, because I can't look like I'm not in shape. I can't look like I'm tired because I wasn't in AZ. You know what I mean? But you still spending money. But that's my whole thing. It's just like, yo, you spend it, but are you doing it with? If we saying that that's the CI, right? You did something, but that's where you supposed to go.
Where everybody was at.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah, and you feel that pressure. Bro,
you know
as soon as the off season, bro, when OTAs start up and it's like time to practice, and dudes come back, you like, oh, that's that AZ body.
Yeah,
that look different. And everybody else got their workout sheets, and the AZ guys got their workout sheets. You like, oh,
I feel that. I think I prided myself.
Yeah,
I can say that though. I prided myself on like I was gonna win summertime. You know what I mean? Like that was all I was on. It's just I'm working out, I'm grinding, I'm winning the summertime. So it's like for me, I used to come back on some like, yeah, you was there, but I was here.
Oh,
like you know,
okay.
I'm coming back for the war too. Like
I can dig that.
I think it's just more like you gotta play the game, like you said, like popping up in there.
Pop up, bro.
That counts.
I'll pop
like
up.
Little stuff like you got to just play that
on.
game all the way through. I think like you gotta post your workouts, you gotta post where you at.
See, that's the thing though. I hated the post the workout stuff. You have to do it, but I hate that, bro. Yeah. I'm like, yo, why are we posting workout? Why is this the thing? Because to me, bro, that workout could be 2 hours, man. And we could be out there with a dude and you're like, yo, you trash, you weren't even working out. Yeah. But you have a little 30-second and 6-second clip that you post and everybody go crazy. And because I didn't post mine, oh, he ain't working out. But you post yours, oh, he killing it. He ready to go.
But that's how it was, though. That
definitely was. That definitely was.
Because if you wasn't posting,
that definitely was.
What are you doing?
Right. That definitely was.
Post the wrong things. You're out a lot.
Yeah.
You're out a lot. Are you working out? You know?
And I always thought to myself, like on vacations, I'm like, yeah, you're on vacation, but you better be grinding.
But it show how deep like the league is. Like you're on a vacation,
bro.
In the summertime, you're thinking like I can't post this because I don't want them.
I told Wifey literally we had, I think it was 2 years ago we did our first like just pre-COVID, but it was our first vacation post football.
Okay.
And I said, but it's the first time we've been on a vacation, and I literally could feel like, you know what, I'm on vacation. I'm actually relaxing because every single year when we played, it didn't matter when we were taking the trip. I'm like, bro, where's the gym at? Is there a field I can run at? I can't post anything too reckless out here. No, I ain't gonna be doing it. I'm gonna drink, but I can't drink too much now because we got a game. We got a season getting ready.
Post that.
Definitely ain't posting that, bro. What? Stop it. You barely want to post a cigar picture.
Right.
Yeah, you like, did we win the championship? All right, I can't even post that then. No, I'm good. Yeah.
But you remember we had a lot of. So we had like Shamarcos, you know what I mean, Le'Veon's, like that stuff was
workout
warriors, and it was gonna look away, bro. Like you know,
it look a
Debo, like you know, Debo's gonna post. You can't stand
next to Debo, bro. Yeah,
so
I'm over here. That's real. That's real.
So not only you had to post it, but it had to be something that looked like
it's got to look the part.
What is that?
Because
you don't just got a med ball.
Can't stand next to that.
Yeah, it can't just be a med ball.
Can't just stand.
Nah, what you
Debo's
doing?
playing volleyball with med ball. You like, bro, and you just do a regular med ball?
Come on.
Stop it.
What we doing?
Yeah, it's real. That is real, bro. That is real, man. I like that though, man.